Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Dana Alexa, filling in for Kara McKinney. It's complete chaos today in some American cities, thanks to some rowdy protests against Israel and in support of the Palestinian people, both of which follow a series of nasty strikes on Israel by Iran this past week. The first case comes to us from Chicago, where anti-Israel demonstrators blocked off incoming traffic outside of O'Hare International, forcing people to exit their vehicles, grab their own luggage from their cars, and run to terminals on foot to avoid missing their flights. Can you believe that? These protesters shut down a major highway on a busy Monday morning and held up signs with the slogans, "Free Palestine" and "Stop the Genocide." Although the highway has since reopened and everything is back to normal, at least for now. It was supposed to send a message to executives at Boeing, since the company has sold weapons to Israel to assist them in their just war against the terrorist organization Hamas. This brings us to the second dangerous protest today, this time on the Golden Gate Bridge, right there in San Francisco. This is where both directions of traffic were shut down. Take a look at that. Stop the genocide. Drivers were totally stopped this morning around 7 a.m. local as people held up signs saying "Stop the world for Gaza" and "End the siege on Gaza now," to call for the end of U.S. support for Israel. Similar demonstrations took place in Oakland, California, as another protest in support of the Palestinian people blocked southbound traffic on the I-880, as you can see right there. Some people even chained themselves to barrels filled with concrete, and law enforcement had to cut through the barrels before they could arrest the protesters. Local authorities intervened and broke up the madness, allowing traffic to resume following like usual. Thankfully, police were able to get these dangerous gatherings under control before anybody got hurt, which isn't always the case, especially with events organized by militant leftists. And also, speaking of police officers, let's talk about the tragic death of a police officer in Memphis, Tennessee. Officer Joseph McKinney was killed during a shootout last Friday morning in southwest Memphis while responding to reports of a suspicious vehicle. He left behind his wife and daughter, and we thank him for his extremely brave service, which shouldn't be taken for granted, especially in today's era of rampant crime. Local authorities held a press conference last week to highlight some details about this heartbreaking incident.
A total of 3 officers were struck by gunfire. Tragically, one of our officers lost his life. That officer is Joseph McKinney. He was assigned to the range station, Alpha Shift. The second officer was brought here to Regional 1, but thankfully he has been upgraded to non-critical condition and he's doing well. The third officer was treated on the scene and is in stable condition. One suspect was 18 years old and the other suspect is 17 years old. Both suspects were transported to Regional 1 in critical condition. Both of them sustained gunfire as well. One suspect has been pronounced deceased. The 18-year-old suspect was arrested in March 2024 by MPD in a stolen vehicle with an illegal modified semi-automatic weapon with a Glock switch attached. The Glock switch converted the weapon to a fully automatic machine gun. He was also charged at that time for 2 stolen vehicles and having a programming device commonly used to steal cars. The suspect was released at that time without bond.
Of course, we offer our sincerest thoughts and prayers to Officer McKinney's loved ones and his brave colleagues, all of whom make incredible sacrifices to fight crime and protect the public every single day.